For generations, a single phrase defined America's role on the world stage: leader of the free world. It was more than a slogan. It was a promise of partnership, of a rule-based order, of collective security against authoritarian forces. That promise has been formally rescinded. The release of the Trump administration's national security strategy is not a policy shift. It is a revolution. A declaration that the United States no longer sees itself as the first among allies, but as the only one that counts. As a country that sees every other nation, friend or rival, as a mark to be squeezed, Trump's NSS has made it absolutely clear the chair as the leader of the free world has been vacant. It is not the USA anymore. Since the disaster administration has taken over the White House, the US has become the enemy of the free world. In this video, we examine the aftershocks of Trump's doctrine and the new alliance forming in its wake. This report unfolds in 4 acts. First, the doctrine of disruption, in a line-by-line breakdown of the NSS and what its cold, transactional language means for the world. Second, the target on Canada's back, how this strategy clearly paints Canada from a partner into a problem. Third, the Atlantic pivot, Canada's decisive response forging a new pact with Europe on the foundational technologies of the future. And fourth, the new map of power, what this realignment means for the global stage, democracy, and the chilling prospect of a world abandoned by its strongest ally. So, let's dig right into it. The national security strategy is a cold, calculated blueprint. It systematically dismantles 8 years of foreign policy consensus. Democracy, promotion, a distraction. Burden sharing with allies, a bad deal. The rule-based international order, a fiction that weakens America. In its place, a single, stark principle. America's first, without exception. It is not just a slogan, it is a sole operating system. The NSS states the US must be dominant in its hemisphere and will discourage other nations from collaborating with anyone but the United States. Think about that language. This is not an invitation, it's a warning. It frames alliances not as mutual defense pacts, but as exclusive loyalty contracts. As former Canadian UN Ambassador Bob Rae has analyzed, this reveals a core narcissism. It is a worldview incapable of seeing other nations as sovereign entities with their own legitimate interests. Instead, they are either vessels for American advantage or obstacles to it. The implications are tectonic. For Europe, the document delivers a grotesque insult, accusing it of civilizational erasure. For Ukraine, it's a death toll, signaling an American desire for a swift, Russian-friendly peace. For China, it hints at accommodation. For Russia, it seeks strategic stability. The message is chillingly clear. The disgusting bully of the world stage is no longer a rogue state. It sits in the Oval Office. And where does it leave Canada? Squarely on the crosshairs. The NSS is a profound problem for Canadian sovereignty. Every independent choice we make is now cast under its shadows. Consider our defense procurement. The desire to buy Swedish fighter jets, German submarines, or South Korean technology. All are logical moves to diversify and modernize, but now framed by Washington as disloyalty. The strategy? Threat to discourage collaboration with others is a direct shot at Canada. It gets even more explicit. The document asserts a Trump version of the Monroe Doctrine, claiming Trump's right to intervene any time in the Western Hemisphere to ensure governments align with Trump's interests. This isn't abstract. It raises the sinister possibility of American support for internal, diversive movements like Alberta separatism or European right radicalism, as advertised by G.D. Vance back in Germany earlier this year, if it suits their goal of a more bendable neighbor. And the economic threats are immediate. Just days after the strategic release, the orange fascist gangster threatened severe tariffs on Canadian potash, a resource the US itself admits it cannot do without, importing over 90% of its supply from Canada. This is the doctrine in action, a move that would hurt American farmers, cripple Canadian industries, and serve no rational economic purpose. It is pure harassment, behavior the likes of a bully, a crook, and extortionists. The calculation in Ottawa is now stark. We cannot be an US vassal state, and we certainly can no longer rely on a partner that views partnership as a sign of weakness. So, Canada is pivoting, not with a declaration of war, but with a declaration of technological and strategic independence. While Washington shows division, Ottawa and Brussels are building a new digital force. The recent MOU between Canada and the European Union, specifically with Germany, are the architectural plans for a new North Atlantic alliance. This alliance is not built on tanks, but on terabytes. Its core principles are digital sovereignty and trust. The agreements have two profound goals. First, to deeply align Canadian and EU AI standards, regulations and research. The aim is to interconnect a high-performance computing ecosystem, our supercomputing brains, and creating a sovereign AI infrastructure that is democratic, ethical and independent of the tech oligarchs and an unfriendly state. Second, to collaborate on secure digital credentials and trust services. In a world of deep fakes and surveillance, this is about giving citizens control over their digital identity. As Minister Hanna put it, trust is a precursor to adoption. This Canadian-European partnership is a direct counter-strategy to Trump's nihilism. It says, if you abandon the project of a free, rule-based world, we will build a new one. We will set the global standard for the technologies that will define the 21st century. AI, quantum computing, cybersecurity. We will create the trusted networks where businesses and innovations can flourish, anchored their shared democratic values. It is a partnership of purpose. Germany brings immense industrial and research power. The EU brings reliable regulatory guidelines and a vast single market. Canada brings cutting-edge AI research and stable investment climate and a desperate strategic need to diversify away from a volatile, extortionary neighbor. The world has always functioned best on a model of win-win. The Trump doctrine is a brutal zero-sum. I win, you lose. What we are witnessing is the formation of a coalition dedicated to proving Trump's model wrong. The implications are vast. For Canada, this is existential. It is a path out of strategic dependence. It turns our technological expertise into a new form of geopolitical currency, attracting talent and investment. The 25,000 high-tech jobs projected from the collaboration with partners like Sweden are just the beginning. For the European Union, this is a lifeline of legitimacy and a source of technological leverage, as it faces an adversarial America and a lawless Russia. For the world, it offers an alternative pole, a network of democratic, rule-based nations providing that cooperation and sovereignty are not opposites, but reinforcements. But the risks are existential. This new cold partition of the Atlantic could embolden authoritarian actors. It places unimaginable strain on Ukraine. Our frightening new reality is that the US can easily become the architect of a new global catastrophe. Prime Minister Carney has said, "We can give ourselves much more than any foreign government could ever take away." That sentiment is now being put to the ultimate test. We are giving ourselves a new alliance, a new technological foundation, and a new, more self-reliant identity. The old atlas has shrugged. We are now among the nations who must uphold the proverbial sky. The new world is being drawn in real time. Its borders are digital, its alliances are technological, and its future still unwritten. So I leave you with this question today. Does this pivot towards a new Atlantic alliance make you feel more secure for Canadians' future? Or does the very need for it underscores a world that has become dangerously unstable? Isn't it astonishing how drastically the world has changed in just 10 months? I find it mind-boggling what can happen when a complete moron left unchecked to rule the world. Just 11 months ago, America made a choice, and the world has come to regret it. Let me know your perspective in the comments below. If this video gave you value, I would love it if you would subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by Christmas. So please do support that goal if you are curious. And if you like this channel's deep dives, click the like button and ring the bell so you won't miss my next one. Thanks for watching. I'm Wilfried Lemkuller from Europe Curious.
You by our side, and we spent so many nights thinking how you did us wrong. Now we've banded all together. Your tariff made us strong, and so you know you're not so great. There's not a snowball's chance in hell will be your 51st state. We really need our resources for more than we need you, so now just go. Walk out the door. We do not need you. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who instigated these trade fights? You'll soon grow to regret it when we turn off your lights. We as long as we can think and work, we know we'll stay alive. We have all we really need. We can live without your greed. We will survive. We will survive. There's been a change. It's time anew. We're not that fledgling little country stealing all of you. We are now a nation proud that is happy to be free. You didn't realize you gave us our own identity, so now just go. We will survive. As long as we can think and work, we know we'll stay alive. Yeah, but all we really need, we can live without your greed. We will survive. We will survive. We will survive. Survive.
51st state, my fucking ass. Go on, Canada.